soldiers!
Hurrah! 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, this is going to be a grappling adventure because my printer isn't working. So we're looking at the text itself from the Triglata. Woo-wee. So we're going to try to hand film, make notes, and so forth on the 6th commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery, from the Large Catechism. That is Luther, and we're going to highlight a couple of these paragraphs, beginning with paragraph 200 and 201. These commandments that now follow, that is, commandments... where are we? Commandments 6 through 10 are easily understood from the explanation of the preceding. For they are all to the effect that we be careful to avoid doing any kind of injury to our neighbor. So the focus of all of these commandments is going to be on the neighbor, but they're arranged in a fine and elegant order. In the first place, they treat of his own person. That is, the 5th commandment has to do with our person. And then in the 2nd, we have to do with the next closest possession after his body, namely his wife, who is one flesh and blood with him, so that we cannot inflict a higher injury upon him, and any good that is his. So remember, the picture over here is that we have our life, and then the very next gift that's next to that, oh boy, is our spouse. Look, I'm looking at the screen. This is a disaster. And then the next gift is our stuff. And the next gift is our name. And that these commandments are protecting all of these things. Now, on the next page, paragraph 202. Because among us there is such a shameful mess, and the very dregs of all vice and lewdness, this commandment is directed against all manner of unchastity, whatever it may be called, and not only is the external act forbidden, but also every kind of cause, incitement, and means, so that the heart, the lips, and the whole body may be chaste and afford no opportunity, help, or persuasion to inchastity. Now, what Luther's talking about here is that that the commandment originally forbids adultery. That is, one person who's married being intimate with someone else. And really, he says that's the only kind of sexual immorality that was known amongst the Jews because they were all married. But that it's been expanded amongst the Germans, a shameful mess, the very dregs of all vice. It sounds very modern to us, and lewdness. This commandment is also against any manner of unchastity. So that it's not just adultery that's forbidden, but any sort of sexual immorality, fornication, thought and word and deed, and anything else like that. So, and that's also noted here, that it's just not the external act forbidden, but every kind of cause, incitement, and means, so that anything that would tempt anybody towards any sort of sexual impurity is forbidden in this commandment. Not only this, and so there's not only a negative thing, but also that we make resistance, afford protection, and rescue wherever there is danger and need, and again that we give our help and counsel so as to maintain our neighbor's honor. So there's a positive protecting of our neighbor's chastity and protecting the gift of marriage, which should be honored among us. Now, I want to skip down a little bit to paragraph 207 and look at this. That God in these commandments sanctions and guards the estate of marriage. He sanctioned it in the above commandment, honor thy father and thy mother. But here, as we said, he has hedged it about and protected it. Now, that is one of the main things that we talk about when it comes to the commandments, is that the Lord is protecting his estates. And so he wants us to honor it and to maintain and conduct it as a divine and blessed estate. Now, remember that there's 3 estates. There's the estate of the church, and there's the estate of the state. But there's also the estate of the family, the estate of marriage. And it, in fact, is the first estate, that marriage was established by God even in the garden. And look at what it says here. Because in the first place, he has instituted it before all others. And what does that mean? It basically means that God gave Adam and Eve to each other to be husband and wife before he instituted the church and before he instituted civil law. And therefore he created man and woman separately, as is evident, not for lewdness, but they should be legitimately live together, be fruitful, beget children, and nourish and train them to the honor of God. Now, this is what we nowadays have to call the conjugal view of marriage. I don't know how to spell conjugal. That's probably right. Anyway, the conjugal view of marriage, where we understand that marriage is for the purpose of having children and raising children. It's not the singular benefit of marriage, but it's the purpose of it. And we have to fight against it because marriage in our day has been revised to simply mean the public recognition of the most intense emotional relationship that two people have with each other. Therefore, God has richly blessed the estate above all others. In addition, has bestowed on it and wrapped up in it everything in the world, to the end that this estate might be well and rightly provided for. Do you see this? That Luther is saying that the existence of the world and all of creation and everything in creation is there for the blessing of marriage, of husband and wife. I mean, this is really an astonishing sort of statement. It is to say that the most basic foundational ordering of the world is the order of husband and wife. Now let's pick it up at the end. This last paragraph. This would be paragraph 219 to 221. Luther says, "Let me now say in conclusion that this commandment demands not only that everyone live chastely in thought, word, and deed in his condition, that is, especially in the estate of matrimony, but also that everyone love and esteem the spouse given him by God. For where conjugal chastity is to be maintained, man and wife must by all means live together in love and harmony, that one may cherish the other from the heart, and with entire fidelity. For that is one of the principal points which enkindle love and desire of chastity, so that where this is found, chastity will follow as a matter of course without any command. So St. Paul also diligently exhorts husband and wife to love and honor one another. Here you again have a precious, yea, many great and good works, of which you can joyfully boast against all ecclesiastical estates, chosen without God's word and commandment." Now, Luther can hardly escape the sixth commandment without taking a jab at the monastery, but notice what he's saying here is that chastity is not just outside of marriage, but in marriage, that there's a chastity in marriage, and it begins with a love and esteem one spouse for the other, and so that husband and wife would live together in harmony. And part of our keeping of the sixth commandment is not only considering how husband and wife, if we are a husband or a wife, how we are to live together in harmony, but also our considering of our neighbors and saying, how can we help and support our neighbors that they would live together in harmony and chastity in their home. All right, sorry about the shaky cameraman work. I'm not that good at this thing. But thanks for enduring, and hopefully we'll get our printer working by next week. All right. Oh, this is it, the last week for the elections. That's Table Talk Radio. Worldwide Wolfmuller. Click here to subscribe. We're looking for 25 likes and 25 comments. You guys have been great at that. That helps these videos on the search engine results. So if you like it, jump down there at the bottom and leave a comment. And if we missed something or if we need to add something to it, you can put that down there. All right, thanks. Next week, back to normal, God willing.
Worldview Everlasting is solid, Christian, and free because it is viewer supported. Your monthly gift of $5, $10, or $25 is the reason that we can continue to improve and expand these tools for online Christian outreach and discipleship. To make a one-time donation, sign up for the Lutheran Ninja Clan regular giving, or to find information about how to put Worldview Everlasting in your congregation's budget, click Donate Now.